Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Decentralize Me podcast. I'm your host, Matt. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the world of AI, blockchain, and the future technology with CEO ArcBlock, Robert Mao. Hey, Robert, how are you?
Hey, Matt, thanks for coming. And it's great pleasure to talk about ArcBlock products in the future.
Yeah, this is going to be great for everybody. We're going to sit down and take a look back to early January 2024 and look at some of Robert's 5-year predictions. And alongside that, we're also going to look at the recent announcement from A16Z, who released their big ideas in tech for 2025, and really talk with Robert to explore how decentralized AI can foster greater trust, how to unlock new possibilities in the way our digital selves interact with the world around us. So this is going to be a really interesting conversation. I'm really excited to talk about it. So Robert, back in January, you made a prediction: application of artificial AI is going to advance rapidly, and large language LLMs and AI content generation technologies are going to begin to transition from model competitions into application competitions. How do you envision blockchain technology playing a critical role really in facilitating the development and deployment of these AI applications?
Yeah. So I still remember in the beginning of this year writing those predictions. And today, when I look back, I would say I'm still over optimistic. The AIs and the large language model we're going to develop rapidly. This is the case. Right? Large language model, AIGC, all different kind of prism and models, and of course applications are building around the large language model. But this is just merely the beginning. So I would say if I look at what I predict before, I think I should extend that 5 years to 10 years or even 15 years. I believe that in 2025, AI is probably still going to be the theme. So the world isn't yet ready to just thinking the AI is mature and AI is something that you're ready to use and then you focus on some specific application yet. There's still going to be a lot of new applications surrounding the AI. So that's probably still going to the mainstream in 2025.
When I think one of the things that a lot of us are talking about today, and I know ArcBlock is thinking a lot about this. So as more people adopt AI or are looking to adopt AI, like what do you see as some of the challenges or risks associating with integrating with AI and blockchain? And what are some of the things that ArcBlock is doing to mitigate these risks for creators and businesses?
Recently in the blockchain industry, the AI plus blockchain has suddenly become something very popular. You can see, for example, the Elysia framework, and there's an AI16Z related to the Elysia framework. It's kind of funny because in the beginning, even myself, I thought that's an A16Z, but eventually I found that this is not A16Z, it's AI16Z. And they have this Elysia framework. I think that's pretty good. It's a very nice application framework that is using large language model to creating these kind of chatbots. But then they also have this capitalized character Elysia token and the lower cap token. It's kind of create a lot of chaos in this industry. It's still kind of hard for you to see, is this a hype or is this something real or blockchain working together for a very long time? We started this like 2 years ago. But when I see today's blockchain AI, most of this project like Elysia and also the very popular virtual framework, I would say those applications purely from the large language model and AI's point of view, those are applications. They are basically infants in the infant stage. They are very, very simple. And 2023 and 2024, just for the AI and large language model applications, you can see today's blockchain AI are just a very, very basic apps, usually just one single chatbot or chat agent. This is in very early stage. So real valuable large language model and AIGC application are supposed to be way beyond this point. But I think the exciting part is when you have the blockchain crypto built together with AI agent. So those AI agents now can behave like a human being or behave like an institution to create tokens, send tokens, trade tokens. And also they could, use a large language model and AI intelligence to decided to do something about it. So that's something new. So I would say this is still very early stage. And so the blockchain and AI application chatbots, what people see right now, they're just a very simple one. But I'm still be very optimistic about this. While this is getting real, it's going to have a lot of new value into it.
So recently, ArcBlock took part in a hackathon competition with the Decentralized Identity Foundation. And going to what you're speaking to, we saw some really interesting projects that were actually showcased that showed the intersection of AI and blockchain. And I'm curious, just to be a little bit specific, like how do you see AI and blockchain potentially changing industries like healthcare, like finance, supply chain, of course, is one we hear about all the time. But how do you see that shift happening?
Yeah. So the two things, for example, in this DIF hackathon, so that is ArcBlock, participated with the Decentralized Identity Foundation and along with many other partners. I think more than 10 different DIF members participated to organize this big hackathon. For this hackathon itself, it was running with a decentralized DID itself. The AI wasn't a theme for this hackathon itself. But when we look at the project that created in this DIY hackathon, a lot of them are related to the AI. Or you can say the hackers who are trying to building stuff, they're naturally thinking other than the decentralized identity and AI is something that they can mix and match using the project. And that basically means that is definitely the trend we see. It's not purely about how to use ID, how to create a new algorithm. It's about how to put the AI in use. I think that's great. That's a very good trend. Great another benefit is transparency because AI. So there's a lot of talks about the security and the safety of the AI. I think this is definitely a big deal in the future because if the AI technology is not used for good, it could be a lot of damage. They need to be auditable and it need to be responsible. I think that the AI's responsibility or the responsible AI is going to be something really important. So having the blockchain, audit, like audit book, audit log, all those kind of AI, that'll be, I believe this is going to be a very important use case. That's combined that have the AIs get hired, how it is paid, what the decisions made, and what kind of action it has been done. And that can also trace back to what kind of model it is using and how this model is trained, what kind of supplement data, like RAG data, the AI is responsible. So that's also another natural fit that for the blockchain and the AI. I think the third is the data privacy, right? So today, if you are just thinking the AI, today's AI is not just about sending all the data to the OpenAI or send to the Google. There's a lot of you can have your customized model. You can run your private model, and the hardware become better and better. So, for example, if you got Apple's Mac Mini, it can run some kind of fairly good sized model really quickly for personal use. Right? So I can imagine in the near future, right, everybody and every home or every business going to have a decent of this data with a decent model. So you don't need to send all those kinds of data to the cloud. So to do that, you still need some sort of security, even you run this model locally, because some of those large language model, they have its advantage. It might be better on the reasoning, better on a lot of advanced features. But for the enterprise computing, you have this AI application, you probably need some critical data. You need to ensure that it only sent to the private model and sent to the node that is private. But you also need to combine some features that you need to send some of the data or something that is not that private to the cloud. Use a public AI to help you to make the result better. You need to have a private data that control everything from the user point of view. You need to have this auditable log to ensure that where your data is sent to, who is the model, how this kind of is processed, right? Clearly understand how the AI is involved in this kind of the business decisions and the data processing. Again, we mentioned the containment system. So I think those three parts, they are critically important for any system, right? So that's why I see the AI and the crypto, they're basically bound to each other. They seem to be like two different technologies, but they are the technologies belong to the same age, like the time, the timing is kind of right.
So as you're talking through that, I can't help but connect the dots to one of your predictions again earlier in the year related to Web3 decentralized social networks, specifically decentralized kind of new social networks emerging kind of in new and surprising ways, right? And I think as you're describing the way that people interact with each other, we're really kind of getting into that. I'm curious from ArcBlock's perspective, how is ArcBlock contributing to the development of decentralized AI?
Yeah, so let's first talk about the decentralized social network, right? I would admit that I was a big believer of the decentralized social network. And now I'm questioning, I'm a little bit questioning myself. The reason is because in the last few years, the decentralized social network didn't take off. There's a lot of project and people attempt to build decentralized social network. We see Lens protocols and the forecasters, they all raise a lot of money. And of course, there's a Blue Sky protocol and the Web5 and also Nostra. In the last couple of years, there are so many different tries attempt to build a better decentralized social network, but it never take off like the social networks in Web 2.0 take off, right? Because I experienced the age in Web 2.0 when the social network is basically like a wildfire, it instantly spread around. But the decentralized social network, people think, including myself, think this is going to be critical. This is going to be super valuable for everybody. And a lot of people invest money, invest time to it, but it didn't take off. It's a couple of years. It didn't take off. So there must be some reasons or some lesson we need to, rethink about it. Right. So for example, ArcBlock, I basically in my tweet, a couple of years ago, I write myself, we're going to build a decentralized social network on top of ArcBlock. And in our community, there's people building a decentralized Twitter on ArcBlock platform. Unfortunately, that's even earlier than Lens protocol, but it never take off. For ArcBlock ourselves, we planned to build something ourselves. But the way that ArcBlock doing things is we're not blindly just building it. We're thinking, is that the right thing to do or what's the right way to do? I found myself, we're not able to, I found myself, it's really challenging to build a decentralized social network that people can actually use and connect. Eventually, we kind of de-assemble the whole decentralized social network ideas into different components. And that's why you see right now we have a component called a Discuss Kit. The Discuss Kit has built all the important features as a social network need, like message feed, discussion board, like the publishing system, like a blog and the bookmarking system. It's everything you need to build everything you need to build a full feature decentralized social network. All those features already in the component like Discuss Kit, Promotion Kit. You don't need to reinvent the wheel because we already built it. But we didn't kind of be able to assemble them into a full feature decentralized social network. Is during the years when I look into the industry, look into what the customer actually in the feedback that a lot of people are talking about, we need a decentralized social network. That is because that is from last election. Imagine that in a country, right? Even the sitting president account can be banned by a major social media. And so even the sitting president can be banned from the social media. That means, for average person, there's no way for you, to fight with those corporates. That's why a lot of people think, shoot, we definitely need the personal voice. We needed the voice that cannot be censored. And that's why the people needed the decentralized social media. But as I said, over the year, the user experience of the decentralized social media and the actually need from the customers who want to have their independent voice, it's very hard to do. Or a lot of people don't realize they really need that. I think in the longer term, ideally, there's still the decentralized social media for everybody. I think that is still going to have the chance because no matter what, we depends on Twitter, depends on the owner of the Twitter, allow us have the freedom of speech. But that means somebody can still censor it. So we are still going to face the same difficulty of same risks in the future. So ideally, some technology can solve that fundamentally. That would be best. But now I think the urgency is lower, and also the whole industry explored for many years, and it didn't really take off. I believe some of the people thinking that forecaster are sort of take off. But I honestly, I tried the forecaster and I tried the blue sky forecaster. It actually, it just to show me that this is just some kind of repeat what we see in Web 2.0, just adding a few primitive features to the Web 2 social networks probably does not automatically make it a Web 3.
So as you're talking through this, I can't help but think of AIGNE and the work that ArcBlock is doing around decentralized AI, enabling people to build things with no code. What role does AIGNE have in kind of getting to the finish line and helping people have those private AIs or building tools?
So aging, as its name, it's AIGNE, aging, and it's also pronounced similar to the agent, right? So the whole purpose of the aging tool is to build agent type of applications. So that's something that I believe that in the future's AI and the blockchain. So the AI agent is going to be the major form of the application, but for a lot of the users, especially the end users, how do you define or how do you train AI? That's a big issue, right? Because in the past, if you need to build an agent, you need software developers, right? It's engineering, it's also art. It's not the average people who know how to create their AI agent. Even AI agent is something, it sounds to be great, but you need something to build the agent by yourself. That's how ArcBlock's agent stepping. We focus a lot on the no code part. That is because we think as end users, you don't need to know how to write code, especially in the AI age. You don't really need to know how to write code to train or to build that average people can use. We need to, release the power that you get application models that we build. End users, because there's a the community in the whole ecosystem, there's already a lot of blocklets that extend the capability of the agent itself. The end users can easily describe what they really need, what the kind of task they expect to accomplish with agent, so they can build this in the no-code way. Right?
Do you think no-code tools are limited in terms of the way that they can do things today, like in terms of creativity or innovation? Do you think AIGNE overcomes that and really empowers people to build things?
I would say today, and from today's technology, right, that the no-code tool is absolutely have more limitation than write code in terms of from the engineering point of view, because no-code tool is built on top of the tool that is built with the code. Right? But today's large language model is already pretty good to help the users write the code. So there's a lot of tools like GitHub Copilot and the Cursor, Winter, but there's tons of tools. Those tools are not no code tools. Those tools are still coding tools, but they just turn, average people to become like powered by AI to become a software developer. With the AI, even somebody without a lot of programming knowledge, you can still be able to write some kind of code. And in the longer run, I believe this is going to be better and better. Eventually, probably everybody can become a software developers with AI. It really relies on the ArcBlock. There's many different builders are building different block paths to make the platform be very strong and powerful in many different areas. And the aging is basically like on the higher level is anything that in ArcBlock. you can use it. So when 7 years, 8 years ago, when we started building ArcBlock, we didn't see this day come. But we just think that we need to build a platform that the developers building things easier. We need a block class, a component like block class that can be easily compose with each other and also have this ecosystem to encourage the builders to contribute the blocklets into this ecosystem. But then we see AI can make this vision even easier and even bigger, approachable for the end users. It's very natural things for us to include the AI into this whole big picture.
So as you're describing no code AI, I'm curious, what would you say are some things that people can build on AIGNE?
Right now, with the current version of the agent, and the first thing that is very easy to build is all those kind of different chatbots. Right? The chatbot, something like ChatGPT, and you can very anything that ChatGPT can do. You can turn those features that you talk to ChatGPT into application. This application could be a chatbot like applications, or it can be turned that into like utility type applications. A lot of people might remember that ChatGPT had this store. So that is something that OpenAI released. So for every of this ChatGPT session, you can describe to the ChatGPT to let the chat to accomplish this. You have to let the ChatGPT do that, say that, correct my English, improve my writing. So every time I need to give the instruction to the AI to do this, it works. But every time I need to repeatedly say this again and again. So this agent is called a writing improvement agent. So you just talk to this agent, they feed it with your writing, and the agent know what exactly they need to do. So they instantly give you the answers. Actually, the virtual bots or the not for any theme utility, but for I think fun and entertaining is something important, right? Current guy has more users than ChatGPT. Carry AI is beautiful fun. It's just they're just like icebergs under the water thing, right? But if you research that, you will see so many of those for funds, and you are surprised to see how many users and how many traffic they are actually bringing. So with the agent, anybody can very easily train some kind of game-like chatbots. And a great one of the tutorials with the agent, you can build some game that is not limited just to one agent. You can give it like scenarios and multiple different agent, and then you can let this kind of multiple agent to create this sort of RPG style games. Even though this is for fun, I think this is still going to be a very important scenario. And today, if you look at the blockchain AI, the virtual protocols and the Elysia framework is all about fun, right? So there's a nothing of those in this territory are building something for real use cases, but they're all for fun. But I think this is still something important, especially in the future. When the AI take over a lot of works, human no longer need to spend all the time on the work. You need entertainment, right? So those AI can bring the entertaining value. I think the third type of applications that you can to create this like interview bots. Right? You can interview people, you can give them some a test, and then you issue the users a certificate, verify credentials. All of those steps are created by the AI. But the agent itself, we didn't build this kind of building features with the blockchain feature into it. But that is something that we're going to bring in early 2025, that the new agent is going to have native build, also some kind of native blockchain features that build directly into the agent. So anybody can easily create AI applications that is interact with blockchain and use crypto in your applications easier.
So last quick question, as you take out your crystal ball and look into 2025, what's something that you think ArcBlock will do to surprise the community next year?
Surprise? I don't know. Surprise. So does ArcBlock actually surprise a lot of people? I don't know. Because ArcBlock, what I can see is ArcBlock is the way that we build ArcBlock is always be very transparent. The way that we doing things are always not only transparent, but also be kind of very engineering focused, because I'm kind of like a old school engineers that we believe the process, believe the design, believes every good product is is starting from a great design and good customer feedback and a very solid engineering skills. That's why, for example, you see our blog, we write a very comprehensive and clear white paper back in year 2017, state that this is exactly what we're going to do. As of today, we're still building. We're really close to what we plan to do. Correct, but this is something that we have always doing, right? So for the AI, it's the same. So if people who are familiar with our blog, you see how our blog created first the AI kit and AI assistants, and then starting to build applications with those kits on our blog, and then we release agent. So from this point of view, if you read, if you kind of carefully look at what we announced, what we tested, there's no surprise. We just doing things very transparently, step by step. But from the other point of view, because we're being so solid, right? So there's no hypes, we're doing solid stuff. At some certain point, you will finally see, oh, some of those are actually not hypes. Some of them, they look at our white paper, look at our demo, they think, these are crappy small demos. You guys probably just like another criminal project, just to say something high. So at least ArcBlock try to prove a lot of things that we visioned are eventually going to be the reality. Right? Some of them faster than we expected. Some of them are slower than we expected, but we're always going to try the best to achieve it. So that's probably going to surprise a few of the people.
Robert, it's been great. I really appreciate your insights and kind of looking out into 2025. I'm excited to see what happens with ArcBlock and AIGNE. Anyone can go to ArcBlock, www.arcblock.io to learn more. Robert, thanks so much.
Thanks, Matt. I think we should kind of have the small conversations in the future and to let the community actually getting to know ArcBlock better and not be too surprised when they see some cool stuff we are going to release. Thanks everyone for listening.